Thank you for stopping by Ballistic BBQ. On today's video, I'm going to be cooking up a long lost but finally found secret barbecue rib recipe. Let's get going. So for several years now, I've been chasing this long lost barbecue rib recipe from my past. There's a few videos that I have posted of, I guess, my journey, and those videos actually stimulated some email messages from some people that used to work at this restaurant that was here in Southern California called Love's Wood Pit Barbecue, and I got a lot of really good help, and I think I finally nailed down this recipe that I really loved, and it's Love's. Love's opened up like in the 40s, like I want to say late 40s, 1947, 48, and they started kind of closing down. It was a small chain, started closing down in the late 90s, I guess, mid to late 90s, and they're gone now. The website's still there. It's weird. They're selling sauces and everything, but there's no more restaurants, and I liked it. I really have some great memories, and there was something about their ribs, this kind of a magical glaze they had on that has always captivated me. And again, I think I finally have the recipe now, or at least as close as anyone's going to get. We're going to start this off by simply seasoning these ribs. I have 6 racks of pork spare ribs, and we're just going to hit them with some kosher salt and some black pepper. Starting off on the back. And I did peel the membranes off of these ribs last night. And I think one of the benefits of peeling that membrane off is not only, I think it makes for a more tender bite, but the fact that you are able to effectively season the front and the back. Some black pepper. There's going to be a lot of flavors going on with these ribs, so I'm not going too heavy. This is just a light seasoning. Flip them over now, get that meaty side. Same thing, kosher salt, pepper. All right, I'll meet you guys at the pit. So for this cook, I'm using the Lone Star Grillz offset cabinet smoker. We're running right now at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. I plan on keeping it closer to 225 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are burning hickory. All right, we're finally cooking. What I'm going to do now, this recipe involves a very kind of a basic sauce, barbecue sauce, and then a finishing glaze. So I'm going to take you back to the little work table I have over there, and we're going to make the sauce. So like I said, these ribs are first going to be hit with like a nice kind of a base coat, just a basic sauce. And then towards the end of the cook, they're going to be finished with a really killer glaze. And the entire recipe and instructions will be down in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. Start off with some water, some apple cider vinegar, some freshly squeezed lemon juice, some butter, some sugar, and I'm going with Demerara sugar, some dehydrated onion, some dehydrated garlic, yellow mustard, some barbecue rub. Use whatever barbecue rub you like. Some celery seed, some black pepper, crushed red pepper. So we're going to go ahead and just whisk this up. And we are not done adding ingredients. There's about, I want to say 3 or 4 ingredients left. What I'm going to do now is bring this up to a boil and allow it to simmer for 20 minutes, then we'll add those other ingredients. We're done with the first part. Now we're going to finish this sauce off with some ketchup. Some liquid smoke. And I know some of you, especially like in Europe, are unable to get liquid smoke. Buy it. I have a video on how to make it. I'll post it right up here, one of these places. Some Worcestershire sauce. Is it Worcester sauce? Some places in England, I think they call it Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce. Give this a good whisk. Now we're just going to continue simmering this for 40-50 minutes. It's looking really good. We'll take this in the house, put it on the stove, and we're going to make that glaze. It's easy stuff. So now let's get going with this finishing glaze. We're going to kick this off with some pork lard and add it to the pot. It's already been heated up. All right, it's melted. Now we're going to add some pickling spice and now some dark Karo syrup. And this was actually confirmed by a former pitmaster at Love, sent me an email. Thank you. So now over the heat, we're just going to continue stirring this, get it all incorporated. So right now at this point of the cook, the creation of the sauce, all the seeds are kind of floating on the top, but as they become logged, waterlogged, Karo syrup logged, they'll start to sink and become more neutrally buoyant. So I'm just going to continue stirring this, and then I'll get it on the stove in the kitchen, let it simmer for probably, I don't know, 20 more minutes. So we're going to do that. In the meantime, the ribs are cooking, pit's running at 225 where I want it to be. I'm just going to monitor the cook. Probably in an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, I'll open up the cooker, take a look at it, see if they're looking dry. If so, I'll spritz them with some water. So I'll keep you guys posted on the cook. All right, we are in this cook 3 hours now. I'll show you what we're dealing with. Some great color developing, actually getting a little bit of pullback. And we're gonna pull these ribs in preparation for the next step of this cook. We're not going to be wrapping these ribs. What I'm going to do now is hit them with that base sauce that we made. Starting with the backs of the ribs, the bone side. The sauce that we made, very, very tangy. It's got a little bit of sweet and a little bite of heat from that crushed red pepper. And it's just, once that glaze hits this, towards the end of this cook, it's just so well balanced. I made these for a party that we went to, a birthday celebration, an adult birthday celebration. And I made about 8 racks, big hit at the party. All right, let me get these picked up and I'll meet you at the pit. So we're just going to continue cooking the ribs now, obviously, and I'll be checking for tenderness. And as it starts getting closer to being done, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with that finishing glaze we made. And I want that finishing glaze to be in the pit with the ribs 40 minutes to an hour before I pull them. So again, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll tell you what though, that sauce is so good just on its own. It's, again, very, very tangy, little sweet, nice little bite. It's good stuff. All right, the ribs have been in the pit for 2 hours with that sauce on. As you can see, they're looking good. They're getting that nice pullback. They're getting tender. I mean, these are gorgeous. Okay, now it's time to hit it with that glaze. And I'm telling you that just this base sauce we put on alone is a win. I mean, it's really good. This is just going to kind of take it up another notch. I've had people in the past ask about the seeds, you know, because you see the seeds in there, the spices. And they become pretty darn soft, you know, from being basically, you know, simmered in the Karos and everything. So they're not an issue. One of the things that I really remember being a kid going to Love's was the sauce, you know, seeing those little seeds in there, and it just kind of makes it look pretty darn cool. They are looking good. Okay, we're going to get these back on the pit. All right, so now we're literally cooking until they're done. Once they get the tenderness I'm looking for, they're pretty close already, but they're not quite there. We'll let that glaze set on it a little bit more. It's going to be amazing, so I'll see you in a bit. I'll see you when they're done. So the ribs have been in the pit with that glaze on it just under an hour. Just checked for tenderness and they're done. I don't want them to get any more tender than they are, so let's check them out. So I'm thinking these are some pretty darn sexy looking spare ribs. What do you guys think? So I'm gonna pull these ribs off the pit, slice them up for you, give you a try, and I'm excited. This is gonna be my lunch. All right, here we are. 2 of the racks. Just gorgeous. And look at that color. Now, the other 4 racks are now in the custody of various neighbors in my neighborhood. So I promised them some food and they got it. They got some food. Let's try this out. Juicy as all get out. Nice. Got a nice smoke ring and it's very, very juicy. smelling that wood. The texture for me is perfect. It's not falling. Look how tender these are. It's not falling from the bone, but it's not clinging to the bone. It's pulling off clean. Just very pretty. People like to see the bite. I think this is very close to what I remember. Maybe, probably better, I guess. I mean, I think whenever you do things at home, you can put a little bit more love into it and it turns out better, but these are killer ribs. And I want to say, and I'm being honest right now, for me personally, these are my favorite. These are what I like when it comes to pork ribs, and I don't think I've made better ribs than these. These are really, really good. Wow, I'm happy, very, very happy. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. If you're not subscribed, please hit that red button, the notification bell, so you know when I upload new videos. If you like the video, thumb it up. Hope you liked it. And let's see. Actually, one of the buddies that I fed, I don't know, a couple weeks ago at the party, gave me this beer, and it's St. Archer Brewing Company, and it's a hazy tart IPA. See you in the next video. Cheers. Good.